Yo, what's good, family? Welcome to PNP, man. Hey, listen, we got a lot of content coming, and I know you clicking on this channel. You might peruse through the channel. You might see a lot of Panthers information. You might see a ton of Panthers content. But listen, we have more than just Panthers content, all right? If you were subscribed before the draft, you would have seen a whole bunch of draft content that you missed out on. But you're here now, so it's all good. And while you're here, next up, you're gonna see a lot of fantasy content. There's gonna be a lot more draft content for 2022. So welcome, man. Hit that subscribe button. Again, shout out to my Cowboys Nation. Hit the sub button. Eagles, Eagles, fly, right? Hit the sub button. Watch the football team. Hell to the, I don't know. Hit the sub button. All right. So, and the Giants, man, New York Football Giants. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let's make this thing happen. Support your boy. But for today, we are going to rank the draft classes for the NFC East. Okay. Shout out to the NFC East. We're going to rank y'all draft classes. And it's going to be a fun one. This is going to be a fun one. I'm a little bit different from the typical draft analyst. I've been looking at these prospects for a long time. I've got my own opinion. So it's going to be a little bit different, all right? So that being said, let's go ahead and get up into these rankings. All right, let's get it cracking with the Cowboys. What up, Cowboy Nation? And real quick, listen, a lot of analysts, quote-unquote analysts, are down on the Cowboys draft, but I actually like it. I think it's a decent draft. Starting off with Micah Parsons, I mean, one can debate whether you took Parsons too high, and you could have used that pick on an offensive lineman, i.e., Rashawn Slater. Didn't happen. I like Micah Parsons. He's super athletic, sideline to sideline. He's a beast. Coverage, you might want to check the coverage. He can develop there. But I think he's a solid player, man. I don't have a problem with Micah Parsons being the pick. Is he going to be a little rusty? Probably, but you don't need to put him out there day one. I think he can kind of bring it along a little slow. He's still got Van Der Esch there, so bring him along slow. I don't mind them taking Micah Parsons at 12. Okay, in round two, you got one of my favorite cornerbacks, Kelvin Joseph. Hey, listen, this cat is shot up draft boards recently over the past month or so. This dude is super productive at Kentucky, and he started his career at LSU, so that's DBU right there. And he transferred out of there and went to Kentucky. And this is a really good player. He's got really good size, really good athletically. I like this pick. I think you guys needed some cornerback help, and I think that checked the box. Kelvin Joseph is a good pick. I like that pick a lot. Next up, Osa Odigizua out of UCLA. This is another guy I like. Not your typical beastly interior defensive tackle. He's more of a pass rushing type tackle. I don't know if he's going to fit in the scheme. He played a 3-4 scheme at UCLA. I don't know kind of where that fits in. You guys, just to be frank, I don't know, the system like that. But he had 27 tackles for loss and 11 sacks in 43 games. So that's a really good stat line for him. You throw him in there as a rotational guy starting out. I like this pick a lot. I'm a fan of this. And then you got Chauncey Golston, defensive end from Iowa. I'm not really familiar with this cat. I know he ran a 4.8 40, so he's kind of not the fastest dude in the world, but he's okay. He's got really good length, really good motor. So I'm not really mad at this. I think you could have went another direction as far as edge rusher there. I don't think he's the best right there, but again, I'm not mad at the pick at all. Then you've got this is where I started to question. I'm like, who is Nashawn Wright? I don't know who this cat is, but he is 6'4", 183 pounds. So he's tall, rangy. I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know I've never heard of this cat. I don't really know who he is. You pair him up with Kelvin Joseph. That's a nice set of cornerbacks. I'm not mad at it. I just don't know who he is. I don't know where. I don't know. Then to me, the steal of the draft right here is Jabril Cox. Jabril Cox is a great linebacker. Okay, this dude transferred from North Dakota State on to LSU. LSU they had a down season. Okay, they weren't very good, so he didn't get like a lot of shine. But he's a really good He's gonna be a really good outside linebacker. Again, you've got guys there already. He does not have to come in and be the guy day one. He can kind of rotate in, but he can do a lot. He can come off the edge. He's solid in coverage. I like this cat. This is a steal of the draft. I'm not sure why he fell so far, but he is the steal. He's the steal. And just to go back up, the cornerback from Oregon State, Nashawn Wright, he's the head scratcher for me. I didn't really get that one. I don't know about that. I get it because he's tall, but he's the head scratcher. Then you went Josh Ball. Josh Ball, he's gonna be a rotational tackle. I like him. He's the big dude. So I'm not mad at that pickup. Simi Fehako is a guy I like a lot. You got him around 5, tall wide receiver, 6'4", 222 pounds, that can straight go. He's a flyer, 4'3". I like this pick. This is a really good pickup. Again, I like this Cowboys draft. I'm a fan of this draft, man. I don't know what everybody's talking about. But Quentin Bohanna is next up. Defensive tackle out of Kentucky. Not sure about him. Honestly, I don't know much about this cat from University of South Carolina. Don't really know much about him. Round 6, you got Israel Mukuamu. I do know about Mukuamu. Played across from J.C. Horn, who the Panthers picked up. I like Israel Mukuamu. Probably going to convert to safety. If you guys play like a cover 3, I think he'd be good in that role. I'm not sure what the cover scheme or what the coverage you guys run in Dallas, but I do know that this dude should convert to safety. And I think you didn't draft the safety probably because you want to convert him to safety. But he's another tall dude, 6'4", 224 pounds. So you got some really tall cornerbacks coming in, one of which should move to safety. So I see what the Cowboys are doing here. You're addressing the secondary, get some big tall dudes back there. I like it. I'm still head scratching over Nashawn Wright, but I see where they're going here. In the 7th round, you got a guard, a probably rotational guy. I won't spend too much time on him. As for the grade, man, I'm gonna roll with the solid B for the Cowboys. I think they did a good job. Got some really good cornerbacks. You address the secondary. Secondary is the weakness of your roster prior to the draft. So I really like what they did here. Got some really good defensive guys. Invested a lot of capital into the defense to get it right. It's going to take some time. It's going to be some growing pains, so you're going to have to deal with that. Trust me, I know as a Panthers fan, we're dealing with the same thing. We got a young group of defensive guys, and that's going to be the same with the Cowboys. Of course, you got some veterans there, but there's a lot of young talent here, especially in the secondary. So I like this draft. It's a good draft. I'm not mad at it at all. Shout out to the Cowboys. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, man. First of all, I think Philly had a good draft. They moved up to get Devonta Smith. Obviously, I think Devonta Smith was on their radar. The other 2 receivers were gone. They felt like they needed to go up and get Devonta Smith, and I think they did a good job. I think Devonta Smith is a really good wide receiver. You got the Slim Reaper. I don't think I'm not concerned about his weight at all. You could miss me with all that. There's been several smaller wide receivers that have played well. So I think, again, we got to stop getting infatuated with people's size. Pause. But let's just see what we have here. You can line him up anywhere. He's a really smart player, knows how to beat dudes with amazing route running. So I like this cat a lot. You're helping Jalen Hurts out a lot with this dude. So I like it. I'm a fan of this pick. Landon Dickerson was next up, and this dude, I like Landon Dickerson a lot as well. The only problem with Landon Dickerson is that he is a walking injury concern. Okay, this dude has never finished a season in college. I know him because I'm a Florida State fan. He started out of Florida State, transferred to Alabama, and he cannot stay healthy. So I think he can be great. He can be a really, really good pick. And had he stayed healthy, he would have been a first-round talent for sure. But the guy just can't stay healthy, so he slipped a little bit. But again, you got to get Hurts some help on that offensive line. Landon Dickerson is a really good pick. But if he stays healthy, he's going to be really, really solid. All right. Next up, Milton Williams. Milton Williams is a pro day all-star. Okay, this dude hit a home run on his pro day and knocked it out. He has the length. He's a big dude, a strong lower body. I haven't seen a ton of his play, but I think he's a solid dude. He's a solid guy. I think a lot of potential here, a lot of good potential here. Next up, Zach McPherson. This is a head scratcher for me. I don't really know much about him. I think there was there was a lot of question marks around this one. I'm not really sure about this pick, but it is what it is. There's concerns about some of his speed, his recovery speed. I can't say I've watched a ton of them. I thought there were some better options where you got him. So a bit of a head scratcher for me there. Next up, Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell, listen, you got Miles Sanders already. You got Boston Scott. You can add to the room. Obviously, Kenneth Gainwell is a dude that can do more than just just line up in the backfield. You can kind of line him up all over the place. So I like Kenneth Gainwell, another weapon for Jalen Hurts. Not really mad at that. Rotational piece in the backfield. Good pick. Next up, Marlon Tuipolu. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. I can't say it. I'm not really familiar with this cat. I know Jay Tufele from USC. I'm not really familiar with Marlon. Okay, I'm not familiar with Marlon. A good run defender is what I hear, and I'm just not familiar with them. Teron Jackson, I am familiar with Teron Jackson out of Coastal Carolina. I am in the Carolina, so I know Coastal Carolina. I watched Coastal Carolina play. I think he's got a really good motor. That's the thing about him that I like a lot. Really solid motor. He's gonna fight until the whistle blows. Good edge rusher. He's a bit on the smaller side. And I think there's some potential here. He could, again, you're not expecting a lot at this point in the draft, but I think he's a very solid guy. Could turn out to be really good. Jacoby Stevens from LSU is a safety. I can't say that I watched a ton of him, but again, he's super athletic. He's got some upside, but it's a late pick. This is what you're getting at this point in the draft. Next up, Patrick Johnson. He's another guy. I'm surprised he fell this far. Patrick Johnson, he's another relentless pass rusher. You guys have some guys that are dogs that are gonna get after the football, and I like it. I like this pickup, but he should be a good, solid rotational piece. And I like Patrick Johnson a lot. I think that's a nice little steal there too. I think that might be the steal for y'all. That's a good steal. I think I'm rolling with that. Good steal for the Philadelphia Eagles and Patrick Johnson. I like that pickup a lot. So that being said, man, I'm gonna give the Philadelphia Eagles a solid B. I'm gonna give them a B, man. I like what you guys did here. Again, Devonta Smith traded up to get him. If Landon Dickerson works out, that's an A. Your draft grade turns out to be an A if you can get Landon Dickerson to work out. I'm just concerned. If you wanted a center, I probably would have went Creed Humphrey, and that's my only knock on this draft. I think Creed Humphrey is better than Landon Dickerson, and I think that I'm not sure if he was even available. I apologize if he wasn't available, but I probably would have went Creed Humphrey instead of Landon Dickerson if he was available. Other than that, really good draft, addressing some of the edge rusher and the trenches, so I like it. I'm a fan of this draft. All right, next up we got the New York Football Giants, man. Shout out to the Giants. I think they had a good draft. You ended up trading back, which was dope. You traded back, acquired some draft capital, and you were still able to get a guy like Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney is one of my favorite guys. You go on my channel and look up Kadarius Toney. I really like Kadarius Toney. I did a film reaction video on him. He's a super, super talented cat. He can play all over the field. You line him in the slot, outside, running back, wherever you want to line him up at, he's going to be successful. And listen, I think what Gettleman saw out of Toney was the same thing he saw out of Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel was a former member of the Carolina Panthers drafted by David Gettleman when he was here. And I think he saw some similar things. And obviously, Curtis Samuel nor Gettleman are here with the Panthers anymore, but it is what it is. Curtis Samuel is extremely talented, had his best season of his career with the Panthers last year under Joe Brady. So I think he saw that, and I think he wanted to kind of duplicate that. And listen, it's a weapon. After you guys got rid of Golden Tate and you signed Kenny Galladay, I think you need to give Daniel Jones more weapons, and I think that's you give him a weapon like this, and it makes his life a little bit easier. You still got Slayton, you still got Sterling Shepard, but I like this pickup a lot, man. I'm a fan. Although I think it might be a little bit of a reach. I'm talking about a slight reach because I think Kadarius Toney had first round buzz. Top 20, I don't know about that, but I can see why he did it. I see why he did it. But from an outsider perspective, they don't know Gettleman like that. I can see why they question it. So anyway, shout out to Gettleman. I think that was a good pick. Next up, you got Azeez Ojulari. Again, this dude is another guy that zipped up draft boards. He had a really good bowl performance against Cincinnati. I think he had a couple sacks in that game, and he was lit after that. So the dude, again, really good pass rusher, a bit on the smaller side, but I think he's a talented guy. He has a few pass rusher moves that are out there. I think he's good. I think he's going to be a really good pass rusher rotationally starting out. And the Giants needed a pass rusher, and they didn't reach for it. And that's what I like about what they did. They let the pass rusher fall to him because this class wasn't very good from a pass rusher's perspective. They let one of the better ones fall to them in the second round. I think that was a really good value pick for them. So shout out to Gettleman on that one too. Next up, you got Aaron Robinson. Aaron Robinson's a bit interesting. They signed Adoree Jackson. I don't know if Adoree Jackson's going to play inside or outside. I don't know where they're going to do that. But he also has an injury concern. You have James Bradbury. So I can see why you go out and sign an Aaron Robinson or draft an Aaron Robinson, because he has the slot ability. He can play inside. He's a slot cornerback, a really good one at that too. Shout out to UCF. They got some really good secondary guys back there. So they had that. I think three of their guys got drafted the other day. So shout out to them, man. UCF, really good. That might be DBU moving forward. All right, so moving on, round 4. Yeah, Ellison Smith. Ellison Smith is a good outside linebacker. I think he's raw, but 6'6", 252 pounds. If he's gonna stay lean, he's got to have that speed. I think he's super athletic too. He had a decent pro day. I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this pickup at all. I think he's solid dude. And again, you guys need edge rusher help on a rotational basis. He's going to be solid. You don't need him to go out there and be an every down lineman, but I think he's good. I think he's going to be good, especially in situational standpoint. All right, next up, you got Gary Brightwell. Not really familiar with this cat. You got running backs. You got Saquon Barkley. You got Devonta Booker. So I think he's just going to come in a rotational basis. I don't know. Again, at this point in the draft, this is what you're getting. And then round 6, he took Rodarius Williams, who is the brother of Greedy Williams. Not too familiar with him, but I went to Oklahoma State. But again, I'm not familiar with him, so I can't really speak to it. But overall, I think this class was solid. This is a solid class. And again, because of your first 3, I'll say your first 3 picks address some needs, man. I gotta get this draft an A, man. I think this is a solid draft for the New York Giants, especially recouping more draft capital from the Bears, from having them go up and get Justin Fields. They got a bag, so they're going to be fine. They got a future first-round pick, so I think that counts in my assessment of the draft that they had. I think they had a solid draft. They addressed all their needs. Again, they didn't have a ton of picks, but again, it's quality over quantity. So really good job by David Gettleman. Can't say I said that very often, but very good job, David Gettleman. Next up, we got the Washington football team. I need y'all to get a name, okay? We need to hone in. Let's focus this offseason and get a name so we can stop calling out a football team, please. And thank you. First up, we got Jamin Davis, okay? Jamin Davis. Listen, I would have blasted this pick had it been from any other regime than Ron Rivera, okay? Ron Rivera knows what he's doing when it comes to linebackers. I tell you that, okay? I don't know where he's missed with a linebacker. And listen, Marty Herney being on that staff, they don't miss with first-round picks. That being said, you're getting a pass. Had it been any other team, taking Jamin Davis in the first is a bit of a reach. But he's 6'4", 234 pounds, super athletic, ran a 4.4, 42-inch vertical. This dude is a monster. And again, you don't get any more physically athletic and have the physical traits than Jamin Davis. This dude is a beast. I like him. I think he's going to fit well in that defense. That defense has so many dogs on it. And this is just another dog added to that defense. I think this is a really good pick. Again, had it been from another team, I would have been concerned. But Ron Rivera knows how to coach those guys. Shout out to Ron Rivera, former Carolina Panthers coach. Good pick by the Washington football team. Next up, Samuel Cosmi. This was a pick stolen. This was the Carolina Panthers second-round pick. You stole it from us. So shout out to Marty Herney and everybody else on that staff. Samuel Cosmi, I think this is a really good pick, good value pick here. And listen, he's a really good athletic tackle. He's gonna have some growing pains, but this is what you get when you take a second-round tackle. And I think it's good value. I think over the long haul, he's gonna be solid. He's gonna be good, but there's gonna be some growing pains. And I like this pick for the football team. You needed a tackle. That offensive line is starting to shape. Turn out to be really take shape and turn out to be really good. I like this offensive line that you guys are putting together. Again, I'm a fan of building the trenches. Let's build the trenches, and this is a good job by drafting Samuel Cosmi. He could start it at left tackle and compete for left tackle, or I think you can put him anywhere. But I think he's played a lot of right tackle, and he's played left tackle over the past couple seasons with Texas. So he's got a lot of football in him. Played a lot of football. This is a good pickup by the Washington football team. Next up, Benjamin St. Juste. I don't know how to say his name. I could have said that wrong. But this is a good pick. I think it was a bit of a stretch, bit of a reach. I think there were some better cornerbacks available at the time of this pick. But he's a tall dude, 6'3". I like him. I like his play a lot. I just question where you took him. Again, you probably got a little concerned with all the day two cornerbacks being taken. So I get it. It was getting there. We wanted a guy. He had a good Senior Bowl. He had a solid Senior Bowl. But we'll see. I think it was a slight reach. That's gonna be my head scratcher for you guys. That's my head scratcher, St. Juste. I don't know about that one. Diami Brown next up. I think this dude. Listen, speed. This dude, he's got good top end speed. Very similar to Curtis Samuel. You guys have Curtis Samuel already. I think you got a ton of weapons on that offense already. This dude can just be another weapon. This receiving core is starting to take shape, and I think it's a good pickup with Diami Brown. Shout out to UNC. This is a good pickup by the football team. John Bates up next. Really don't know much about John Bates. I think Brevin Jordan probably would have been a better pick. Kenny Yoba probably would have been a better pick. This is another big reach. I think this is a bit of a head scratcher for me. Not too sure about this one. I don't know about that. Derek Forrest is your safety that you picked up. I don't know about this one either, because at the time you took him, there was probably some better free safeties on the board, and that's what you needed. I just don't know about this. Again, you're starting to get later in the draft, and this is kind of what you're getting. You're getting developmental pieces, so I'm not going to scrutinize that much. So it is what it is. And welcome to the club with the next pick. Welcome to the club, Cameron Chessman. Listen, you picked up a long snapper. There's no need to pick up a long snapper, fellas. Listen, Trey Smith was still on the board at the time you took this cat, I think. No, there's no point in taking a left tackle. Welcome to the club. Carolina Panthers did the same thing. It's awful. Don't pick up a long snapper. Okay, let's move on. William Bradley King. I'm not too familiar with that cat, honestly. I'm not too sure about it, so I can't really assess that one too much. Shaka Toney, I am familiar with. I'm a fan of this guy. He's a bit on the smaller side and doesn't fit well as a 3-4 defensive end. He's more of an outside linebacker in a 3-4. So we'll see what happens, how you use him. But again, in the 6-7 round, this is what you're talking about, developmental pieces. So I'm not going to scrutinize it that much. It is what it is. All right. So that being said, man, I gotta give the football team a C for their draft. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta do it because number one, you took a long snapper, so I gotta dock you a little bit. And I know the Panthers took a long snapper too, but I think they had some other picks that kind of made up for it. Jamin Davis, a bit questionable. Again, had it not been out of Ron Rivera, I don't know. I don't know about that. So again, Cosme's a good pick. Some other question marks in the second and third picks. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think, again, the Marty Hurney, Ron Rivera regime, typically they miss a lot in the mid to late rounds, but they always hit in the first round. So we'll see what happens. That's just my experience as a Carolina Panther fan. Sorry, football team fans. That's just my experience. That's all I can share with you. But not too harsh. I just think, again, you could have went elsewhere with some of those picks. All right. That being said, decent draft. All right, you see me assess the classes, right? Went team by team, assess the classes. Now it's time to rank them, okay? We're going to go from worst to the best. And worst does not mean you had a bad class. That just means you didn't have the best class in the East. So being ranked 4 is not a bad thing when you look at in the landscape with the entire league. It's just in that division, you didn't have the best draft, all right? So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Coming in at number 4, we got the Washington football team. Listen, I think they had a decent draft. You got Jamin Davis in the first round. A bit questionable, again, I say because of Ron Rivera and his linebacker pedigree. I think he knows what he's looking for. So I get it. I understand it. I just question the value at that particular point in the draft. And you drafted a long snapper, okay? Listen, it is what it is, okay? You drafted a long snapper. You got to get docked a little bit of points on that. But overall, I think it was a decent class. And I think you have some guys that can help you out coming out day one, all right? Coming in at number 3, we have the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys coming number 3. Micah Parsons, again, you took a linebacker in the top 12. I question the value there, but you got your guy. Van Der Esch, you didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so it is what it is. Now you have a guy that's going to be there. I don't know if he starts week 1. You Cowboys fans, you can chime in, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if he's going to start week 1, but I think he's going to be a good player for you guys. I just question, again, the value of that pick at pick 12. You probably could have went elsewhere, but it is what it is. Again, solid draft. You got Simi Fehako, a lot of tall cornerbacks. Let's see how they use. Again, just because you're tall does not mean you're good. That's just a fact. So I really like the Kelvin Joseph pick. I'm a fan of Kelvin Joseph. Israel Mukuamu, solid, as long as you move him to safety. Simi Fehako, I like a lot. So you guys got some really good guys that I like. Again, I don't know why people are so down on this class. I think it's better than I think people expect. I think you're going to look back on this draft and look back and see you got some ballers, right? Coming in at number 2, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Eagles had a good draft. They traded up to get Devonta Smith. You got the Slim Reaper. Again, you have to give Jalen Hurts some weapons. If you're all in on him, you got to provide him some weapons and protection. I think you did a good job with the first 2 picks on that. Again, Devonta Smith, and then you picked up Landon Dickerson. Health is the biggest thing for Landon Dickerson. If he was healthy, this would have been an A draft easily because I think you got good value for him in the 2nd round. It's a crapshoot because, again, the dude has not finished a season in his college football career. Florida State, Alabama, he hasn't played a full season. I can't say he's going to hold up under the NFL physicality either. But if he does, it's going to be a really, really good pick. Fix that offensive line. You guys have had great offensive lines in the past. Let's go back to that and let's get it. I think it's a good draft. Moving on to number 1. I have the New York Football Giants. Listen, that trade back, getting the capital, the future draft capital is a plus. Kadarius Toney, you can debate whether that was a good value pick. They liked him. Again, I told you about the Curtis Samuel connect. I see where they're going. As a Panthers fan, I know what's up. I see what they're trying to do. You got to give Daniel Jones some weapons. That's what they did. They filled up, got a couple edge rushers. You got Ellison Smith, who could turn out to be really good. He's a raw, small school dude, but trust me, the guy has the athleticism and the body, the 6'6", the traits to be good. We'll see if it fills out and if it works. But if it does, getting him where you got him is going to be really good. And again, Azeez Ojulari, a really, really good edge rusher. Hopefully he turns out to be good. I know he had some injury issues in the past, which is why he fell a little bit. But you got him in the 2nd. The dude was touted to be one of the top edge rushers, okay? So, and again, this edge rusher overall was weak, but I think he was one of the better ones, and you got him in the 2nd round. So I think you got good value for those picks. So that being said, those are my rankings, man. NFC East, a good group of drafts. I think you guys, all the teams had good drafts or decent drafts, okay? Football team had a couple question marks, but I think, again, they typically knock the first round. The pick that I'm questioning, Jamin Davis, usually under Marty Herney and Ron Rivera are the ones that are knocked out the park. So if he works out, I can upgrade that to a B. But again, taking that long snapper, I don't know about that. But anyway, that's all I got. Hey, man, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button on the way out. We on the road to 50K by the end of the year. Hit the subscribe button, like it, get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. That being said, I'm out.